That's my account officer. When he graduated, he told his family he hadn't done anything worthy of congratulations. That was before he went to the Access Bank School of Banking Excellence, where they test them again and again.
Now you can congratulate me.
Once you make it through the Access Bank School of Banking Excellence, you are indeed ready to play in the Ivy League of banking. I believe that to be true, and that's why I trust Access Bank.
Hello and welcome to 234 Next Simon Says. My name is Simon and I'll be talking to you about one of the fallouts of the Africa Cup of Nations. That is the ban on Togo by the Confederation of Africa Football, CAF. On Saturday, based on its rule, which says that any team pulling out of a major tournament organized by it should give a 20-day notification, CAF placed a 2-tournament ban on Togo, meaning Togo will miss the 2012 edition of the tournament as well as the 2014 edition. Now, the decision has generated controversy, and Simon thinks it was bound to generate controversy. This is because the Togolese team in question and the circumstance as a whole, which led to Togo pulling out of the tournament, were disregarded to a large extent in this decision. CAF went on to explain that the ban was largely because of the lack of notification as well as the interference of the government in Togo's withdrawal. Media reports indicate that out in the aftermath of the attack, which left 3 Togolese officials dead and with the goalkeeper injured, suffering from gunshot wound, as well as some other players injured, that the decision to withdraw was given by the government, and this amounts to interference. And based on CAF rules, governments are not allowed to interfere with the governing of football in any country. So in this regard, CAF's rule is clear and its stand is clear, and the punishment is the ban which was placed, as well as a $50,000 US fine, which was also the federation will have to pay. Now, this decision in itself, in terms of football, in terms of discipline, in terms of order, may make sense, because without these rules, CAF would definitely be a failure. But at the same time, just as rules are meant to be followed, they are meant to be reviewed. They are also meant to be broken. And if there was ever a situation where it should have been broken, it should have been now. If there was ever a reason why it should have been ignored or it should have been reviewed, it is now. From its explanation, it seems CAF is expecting the Togolese football federation or government to make an appeal, but it shouldn't have come to this. Simon says CAF should have taken time out to do a proper investigation, invite the parties in question and get a balanced view, should have taken into consideration the sensitivities that were at play here. Here is a team going to a tournament, attacked by hoodlums and or bandits and rebels, whatever you call them, attacked by these people. Three officials are dead, including an assistant coach. Your goalkeeper is shot and is critically in a critical condition at the hospital. How do you go to play at a tournament? Where do you get 20 days from within which to give the notification? I mean, it was just 3 days to their first game. It was impossible for Togo to have continued, and even if they went, their display would have been affected. So these sensitivities were ignored, and the Togolese striker Adebayo has described the situation as outrageous. Now Simon thinks it is more than outrageous. The decision, the ban, is outrageously wicked and insensitive, because these players who were attacked, they did not want to be attacked. They were attacked because CAF and the Angola local organizing committee failed to provide adequate security. They were insensitive when they organized a tournament in a region that has been in crisis for years. And so instead of CAF explaining to Togo why it didn't provide adequate security, why its players were hurt, CAF is now punishing them. This makes no sense. The players that you expose to violence, the players that you are supposed to explain to what happened to that they were shot at, these are the people you are punishing. And what does that say of CAF as a governing body? It means you are your own. The rules are not more important than the lives of these players. And in this circumstance, the event didn't happen 20 days to the tournament. It happened less than 20 days. Meaning that as far as CAF is concerned, the only option for Angola was to have continued. It meant that the option of withdrawal was not there. And this is unacceptable. The decision is unacceptable, and for CAF, already CAF has damaged its reputation with this, and it also has to come out with an explanation. The attempts so far do not work. One of the executive committee members, Suketu Patel, was on the BBC saying that it's just the first stage, and what is expected is that the Togolese Football Federation will write to them saying what happened. He also complained that after the incident, when they pulled out, they should have written, but they didn't. But all that, regardless, the CAF shouldn't have allowed it to get to this stage. They should have taken more time to investigate. They should have called the Football Federation to find out exactly what happened. Why did they leave? Was it really the government order, which was the case as reported in the media? And even if it was the government order, in this instance, the Football Federation in Togo is presently undergoing a transition and is not fully functional or established. And so to an extent, the government was already in control of the situation of the country's football before now. So the issues were a bit complicated, but CAF didn't approach it like that. As far as they're concerned, the rule was a rule. And Simon says that is where they erred. It would have been easier for CAF to explain why they had to make an exception to the rule this time around. It would have been easier that way, rather than explain why they had to take an action that is actually insensitive. Togo was not equipped to play play in the tournament after the attack. It was an incomplete squad with players undergoing trauma. And I'm sure if anybody among any one of the executive committee members of CAF has ever been in a situation where they were shot at, they will understand what it would have taken for the Togolese national team to have participated at the Nations Cup. To that end, Simon says CAF got it all wrong. Simon says the Togolese Football Federation and its government demand an explanation. Already, lawyers to the deceased members of the squad are suing both the local organizing committee and CAF for not providing the adequate security needed for their players. And this is how it should be. CAF should be explaining what happened. Why were these security lapses there in the first place? Why was did Angola decide to host a tournament in a place that is violent and in crisis? These are the real issues. So CAF, do not cover your failings with this ban. Undo the ban. Allow the Togolese players to play football. They cannot have their players killed because of certain flaws on your part or on the part of the organizing committee for the 2010 Africa Cup of Nations, and then still go ahead and be punished with that's 4 years. For the next 4 years, what happens to their football? So that is the situation. And as far as Simon is concerned, you know what he's thinking about. So next time we'll talk about something else. But for this one, CAF, you got it all wrong. Well, thanks for listening. Let me not get carried away, but that is the situation. Angola 2010 is over. Congratulations to Egypt for a record 3 consecutive win and stamping their place as the kings of Africa football. The Pharaohs of Egypt have won the tournament 7 times. I mean, it would take about 5 editions of that tournament for somebody to break that record. It's a big achievement, and we say congrats, and we wish the Togolese players luck in their quest to have this ridiculous, outrageously wicked and insensitive ban overturned. Thank you.
That's my account officer. When he graduated, he told his family he hadn't done anything worthy of congratulations. That was before he went to the Access Bank School of Banking Excellence, where they test them again and again.
Now you can congratulate me.
Once you make it through the Access Bank School of Banking Excellence, you are indeed ready to play in the Ivy League of banking. I believe that to be true, and that's why I trust Access Bank